Hey everybody, welcome to the Indie Show. Today I am so excited. So we've got a very, very special guest on today. Everybody say hi to Caitlyn Allen.
Hey
so you've probably seen or heard of Caitlyn before. It's no secret that she's one of the big assistants at Indie Law and that she means a lot to me and to the business and to Danny Fountain. Hi, Danny. And so I'm super excited because today we're going to dig in, get to know Caitlyn a little bit better. For all of you guys who kind of follow Indie Law but might not work with Indie Law, but also a lot of people ask me about, when's the right time to really start to build a team and how do I know when I'm ready and how do I kind of bring on those first kind of VAs or freelancers or independent contractors in a smart way and make sure that it's going to be a good relationship. So Caitlyn and I are going to talk all about it. If you have questions about hiring a VA, what to do, when the timing is right, be sure to ask, drop comments below and we'll get to it. But Caitlyn, before we go any further, give us a little bit of backstory about, just kind of your story in general and how you became a virtual assistant.
Yeah, so the past few years, I had been working as a AmeriCorps Vista, which is Domestic Peace Corps. And a little bit before that, I was in college, obviously. I was in college at Albion, and Albion is a small private school in southern Michigan. So I'm actually from northern Michigan. And yeah, so at Albion, I met Danny Fountain, who, we already shouted out a little bit already. But I met Danny, and so Danny and I were really good friends in college, and she graduated a year before me. But our freshman year, we actually lived right like kitty corner across the hall from each other, which was really fun. So yeah, I was in a lot of extracurriculars with Danny, and we really got to know each other. And so when I was doing AmeriCorps, as Domestic Peace Corps and as AmeriCorps, you make the poverty line wage. And so I was making $800 a month. Every 2 weeks, I got paid about $400, and not much to live on, but it's really good experience. And so when I was doing that, I was like, Danny, I have 6 months. Like, what am I gonna do? Where am I gonna go? And she was like, yo, I need a VA, and you want to be it? And I was like, oh, I guess, like, free money on the side. And so I started with her, and then right after I started with her, I got another client who I don't really talk about. And then my third client was actually Raina Pomeroy, who I still work with. She's my favorite. I love her. I love everything I do with her brand and with Creative Empire. Yeah. And so since then, I worked with Raina, and I didn't bring in any more clients. And then this summer, I was like, oh man, in August, I end my AmeriCorps term. What am I going to do? And I started hiring all clients. I started with all these clients. And so that's when I started with you, Joey, was July of 2017.
Yeah.
I've almost been with you for a year.
That's crazy. That is crazy. That's absolutely crazy. So just to back up for anybody who might just be tuning in now, welcome to the Indie Show, a talk show for creatives. Today is a really special episode because I'm interviewing my main sidekick in Indie Law, my main assistant, Caitlyn Allen. And Caitlyn and I, we started working together through our mutual friend, Danny Fountain. Also, Caitlyn, can you please do me a favor and name drop and provide a link to Raina in general, because she's fantastic, and I want to make sure that she sees that you're loving on her. In the meantime, you guys, for the past, I guess it was last week, I, without putting too much thought into it, asked the Friends of Indie Law Facebook group if they'd be willing to send me some swag so that I could put them on this water bottle that I've got. And you guys have just been amazing with sending me stuff, and I love supporting you guys. There's one business I wanted to start with talking about, and that is Kid Essence. So I know that it's backwards, I think, but Trisha Lee with Kid Essence, she sells and she makes all of these beautiful products. One of my favorites that she does is she does these custom dolls, and they're absolutely beautiful. So check them out. Go to Kid Essence. Trisha, quick reminder, Now that we've got that trademark registered, be sure to add the circle R on your stuff. But Trisha's fantastic. I love working with her. She's awesome, and it's great to be able to give her a shout out. Thank you for the sticker, Trisha. So Caitlyn, let's dive right in. One of the questions that I get the most from clients and other people that I work with when I talk about the idea of building a team, because there's a lot of contracts and things around when you start that relationship and what it looks like. And they say, kind of, how do I know when I'm ready? I already feel like I'm drowning. What is your recommendation on when a business is ready to kind of take that jump to bring on an assistant?
Yeah, so I think sometimes people think, oh, I need to bring in help because I don't know what I'm doing. And as somebody who's been brought on businesses who think that, but they don't actually know what they're willing to give up or what they want to give up, that can be really stressful.
Yeah.
So what I would say is actually sit down in your business if you feel overwhelmed and just be like, all right, what are all of the things I do daily? And what are the things I hate? Or what are the things I can easily, willingly give up without feeling scared to give them up?
Yeah.
And of course, it's your business, it's your baby. You're going to be scared to give up anything.
Yep.
But that's when you know when you're hiring that you really trust a person. And so that's why you read their testimonials. That's why you read or talk to some of their clients, because you want to know who you can trust. Because, everybody's heard a scary, horrendous VA story where it's like, oh, I trusted this person and they messed up my business. Like, that's why you need to do your research on hiring. But then, so sit down in your business, delegate, these are the things I'm willing to give up. These are the things that I want to eventually give up. And that's when you start hiring, is when you can say, okay, I don't like doing social media, or, okay, I hate Twitter, so this is what I really need help in.
So let me respond to that real quick, because I think that there's a lot of good stuff there. And thank you to Natasha Klein for letting me know that it looks like if I put stuff on the screen, it's not backwards. That's great. So one of the things that I have done that has been really helpful, and Caitlyn knows that I've done this, was I put together an organizational chart for the business a couple of months ago. And a lot of you guys can probably relate to that idea of, like, it feels like when you're a business owner, you're wearing like 100 different hats, and what this growth organization chart does, and I can share it out to whoever's interested, but the idea is it forces you to think about, if I'm wearing 100 hats, what really are those different positions that right now I'm doing all of them, know? And I think that can be a really helpful way to say, okay, the solopreneur, I'm currently fulfilling all of these roles of this business, and eventually I would want, this role of the marketing side, or, I would, this type of an operational assistant who can help with X or onboarding or whatever, or can help with packaging, really figuring out kind of what those positions are that currently you're doing, and then documenting how you're doing them. And I think there's a good dance there, because on the one hand, yes, I think some people are too reluctant to give up ownership of something because they don't think that anybody else can do it as well as them. And I think you have to kind of be okay with delegating things. And at the same time, don't go too overboard too quickly. And I'm speaking from experience here. If I've recommended the book Profit First quite a bit to people, but the idea is, you want to keep expenses within your means. And so don't delegate outside of what your budget can afford, but don't be afraid to make those delegations once your business can handle it, because that's a really good sign that, the business is getting big enough to where you can't and shouldn't have to do all the things.
Yeah. And speaking to that, when you're hiring, if you don't trust the person, you shouldn't be working with that person. You're hiring somebody who is maybe not an expert in their field, but knows how to do something and can probably do it better than you. That's who you want to be hiring.
Yep. Oh, totally. Absolutely. And again, if you guys have any questions or concerns about what it's like to bring on a virtual assistant, or if, let's say, you're a product-based business and you're not exactly sure what
you can. I have product-based business owners.
Yeah. Can you talk a little bit about what a product-based business would use a VA for?
Yeah, so I'm sitting here drinking a cup made by Rachel Aline. She's actually one of my clients. And I have done a lot of random things for her. So I know how to go back into the back end of her website and do SEO for certain products. I've uploaded products. I've sent in requests for the U.S. Postal Service. When mugs get broken.
Yeah.
And she does blogging as well. And so I've done, the back end of the blogging on her website. So yeah, awesome. I've been adding testimonials to her website. I've done that. So awesome.
And let's put a link to Rachel's online store or site if we can in the comments. And while you do that, just to kind of set the next kind of set of questions up that we had talked about was, I think that was a great example of the type of work that you do for Rachel. And I know at least a handful of the business owners that you work with, and I know enough to know that you do quite a bit of different things for different business owners. But what would you say are kind of the main types of things that you tend to help with across the board?
Yeah, so I feel like all of my clients are very different.
Yeah.
My favorite thing besides trademark stuff
yes.
Finding those cookies somewhere, right? No. Yeah. My favorite thing is podcasting. I love working on the back end of podcasts. So working with Creative Empire, and I worked with Burgundy Fox for a short while, and I got to help them with their podcast, and now I'm working with Bossy Cluckers. Hey, I'm like shouting out everybody today.
I love it.
But I love teaching business owners the back end of the podcasting, and I'm super excited that Raina's dropping a new podcast soon, so we'll be working on that. But that's kind of my favorite thing. And then, I know how to do all the back end of websites. Oh,
let's put up this comment.
All of my clients.
Yeah, let's put it up.
Oh man.
So first of all, can I just say that this is saying a lot, that a friend who works with you thinks well enough of you to like be this big of an advocate. So like Danny is amazing, but also like Caitlyn is very deserving of this mention and the way that Danny is talking about her. So Caitlyn's clients, because she has to brag on this girl, she's mad talented. Rachel, like Caitlyn said, Raina and Co., Indie Law, of course, Amy Nichols Special Occasions, Poppy Group, Burgundy Fox. Shout out to Burgundy Fox. They're amazing. Same with Creative Empire Podcast. Megan Maydell, Julie. How do you say Julie's last name?
Julie Mikos.
Mikos. And then the Healing Farm and the Bossy Cluckers. That's awesome that Danny knows so much about all of this. And I mean, I think
she forgot to mention Tyler. I work with Tyler.
Oh yeah, Tyler. Shout out! You can. You can
she just said it, and Tyler.
happy early birthday to Tyler. He's
happy birthday.
The big 3-0 next week.
Oh, she spelled my name wrong, but it's okay, Carrie. I love you.
Hi, Carrie. No, this is great. So, I know you do a lot of different types of work for different people, and you love the podcast side of things. One of the questions that I had for you when we first started was, hey, Caitlyn, I have a lot of marketing work that I kind of need done, and I have a lot of operational work that I kind of need done. And eventually, I would like for you to just live in one of those places, because otherwise I think you can just mentally get shifted a lot. And so I asked you which one you'd prefer, and you said operations.
Yeah.
Can you talk a little,
right? Like everybody keeps telling me, Caitlyn, you need to niche. Caitlyn, you need to niche. And I'm like, I don't want to, because I know if I niche, I'm going to get bored and I'm going to hate what I do. And so that's why I haven't. But I chose operational because I like having SOPs. You can do that in marketing, of course. Yeah. But I like.
And SOPs are?
Standard operations and procedures.
Okay.
I like knowing that I check things off a list and I'm done. Like I am so afraid that if I post something on Facebook and somebody doesn't like it. Like I'm too afraid of that. So yeah, that's why I was like, I really want to do operations. I really like working with the clients and making the clients happy. I really enjoy that, which is hilarious because if we were, face to face, it would be a different story, but we're not.
Hi, Raina.
Hey, Raina.
One of the things that I wanted to touch on before we move on is this idea of kind of mistakes happening. And I just wanted to voice this as clearly as I can, which is that, when you're working with a VA or a freelancer, especially if they're new and they're maybe your first time doing it, mistakes might happen and it might take a while for like the processes to get better. My view is whenever somebody on your team messes up or something, it's probably your fault as the business owner for not explaining it well enough, or like putting it in details, or like training them up to do that thing for you. But at the same time, you want to make sure that you're working with the right type of VA who has the skills and the enthusiasm for the business to get things done. And one of the reasons why I'm so impressed with kind of VAs that are good VAs, and especially Caitlyn, is, look, I tried working for a job where I was working for other people, and it was really hard for me to have that enthusiasm that I now have running my own business. And just like props to Caitlyn for kind of taking ownership of what she does when she's helping other businesses. I think that that's awesome, and it's rare.
Yeah, I know, like, as somebody who I'm running my own business, but I know that my business is making sure that your people are happy. And by your people, I mean every single one of my clients.
Yeah.
And so, yes, I have my own face and I have my own name, but when I'm working for you, I'm working for your company and your brand. And I don't want to look negative. Like, I don't want any negative connotation for my name, and I definitely don't want any for your name. And so that's something that I really respect, is like, I'm a contractor, but I'm a brand ambassador for you because I really want to make sure that your people are happy.
No, I totally love that. And again, if you guys are just joining us, welcome to the Indie Show. Our guest is Indie Law's main sidekick and assistant, Caitlyn Allen. And one of the reasons why I'm bringing her on is because people who are in the Friends of Indie Law group especially know that I'm very aware of the fact that I, as an attorney, can only do so much to help your business. And so working with creatives and business owners for the past year and a half, 2 years now, I've really formed relationships with other types of service providers that I think can be helpful to you. And one of those main people or slots to fill for a business is a VA. And I'm kind of just paying it forward because, again, like, I ended up working with Caitlyn because of Danny Fountain's recommendation, and it made the hiring process a lot easier. I knew that I could trust her because I knew that Danny worked with her and they got along well. And it can be a lot easier to find and bring on a VA when you're not doing the search and finding somebody and going through like a blind interview process, but instead you're just going off of recommendations. And so I wanted to do this to be like, hey, Caitlyn Allen is a recommended VA for anybody who's looking for work. That being said, Caitlyn's calendar is getting full. She has a lot of clients. Do you have any? Are you currently taking on new clients, Caitlyn?
No, I am not. That's so scary. Like, it's so two things. It's scary, but it's also really exciting that I can say no. It blows my mind that my clients are so amazing and that I've had so many recommendations from my clients. Yeah. Carrie, I know you got to me a little too late. But yeah, it's super awesome, and it's amazing that I get to say no, but it also sucks because I'm not working on new things all the time.
So I'm kind of glad that you are saying that you're full, because that opens up the fact that, you and I both know other virtual assistants and teams and things like that. And starting next month, I'm really excited to be working with a team that is going to be handling a lot of the marketing of Indie Law. And this all shows that like there's more than enough to go around. And so again, if any of you guys are looking for virtual assistants, yes, I'm a lawyer, but I'm a lawyer who knows some other businesses as well. And so I'd be happy to make connections with, the people that I've learned to trust and work with over the years, even if they're not Caitlyn, because she's currently got a wait list.
Sorry, guys.
So, Caitlyn, can you give us a sense of, okay, let's say that you just start working with somebody. You're on like day one of really kind of getting into the details of working with them. What are things that you really like to see? And I ask that so that business owners that are watching who are interested can start to get these things ready if they're looking on bringing on a team.
Yeah, so the first thing is a line of communication. So I prefer Slack. It's just easier. I'm not giving you my phone number so you can call me at random hours because boundaries have to be set some way. So open line of communication for me to get a hold of you if I need you by, randomly. So Slack preferably, a Trello board potentially, or I'll set one up for you just so that you can assign me tasks, because I can't keep track of every single message you send me or every single email you send me. I know that I need to, but at the same time, that's just not always doable. And so setting up a Trello board and having to-dos in there, I know what is expected of me and when you set the deadline for me, so that I know, okay, I have a week before I need to get this done, but I need this done tomorrow. So it's also, I don't know your business fully at the beginning. And so setting those deadlines for me and just making sure that you're communicating with me. If you have questions or if you don't like that I'm doing something some way, just let me know. That's something that I see a lot of businesses struggle with, is they don't like something the VA is doing, but they don't tell the VA. And that's not fair, because I don't always know what you like. I don't know what you don't like. And so just being clear with me and saying, oh, I did not like that Facebook post.
Right.
Let's moving forward. This is what I would like to see. Yeah. And honestly, as a business owner, sometimes you don't know until that line is crossed. And then you say, okay, moving forward, I don't like that. I do like this.
Yeah. No, I think that's great.
Open communication, a Trello board where all of our to-dos are handled, and questions. And LastPass, you need to give me your passwords to stuff. Yes. And it's not like I have to see them. I just need access to them. Right. Yep.
Oh, that's really good. On that note, for anybody who is watching who might have missed a show that Mitch and I did on the legalhour.live, I think it was last week, we talked about that Facebook Cambridge Analytica breach and kind of what that means. One of the things that you should be thinking about, again, if you're an online business owner right now, if you're using Facebook to log in to certain apps like Trello or whatever, just keep in mind that you might be giving those other apps access to your Facebook data. And so I would highly recommend, especially now with that kind of breach going on, that you take the time to go through all the apps that you're using. If you have LastPass or 1Password or something, just go through those apps that you're currently using and seeing if you are using Facebook to log in, if you can get that changed with the app, just to be more protected and private with your business stuff. So I'm glad that we made that mention. Caitlyn, before we end off here, because we've given, I think, a lot of really good tips. And again, if you guys are thinking about virtual assistants or adding team members, whether it's kind of the practicalities or even the legalities of like what documents do I need to kind of have in place when I bring a VA on board, let us know in the comments, and Caitlyn and I will continue to monitor this discussion.
If you have any questions, feel free to drop them in. I'm down to answer them. And if you think of questions after, feel free to give me or shoot me over an email. I will give you one. Totally. My email address at the end.
Yeah, Natasha says exactly. What you can do, Natasha, is if you go into Facebook and then settings and maybe apps, or I forget exactly how you go around there, but Facebook should have like a list of all of the apps that are connected to it. And so that can also be a really probably an easier starting point to see what apps, if any, are connected with Facebook. Before we end off here, Caitlyn, I wanted to give everybody news about something new that we're doing. So a couple of weeks ago, Caitlyn and I, we announced that we were going to start doing something exclusive within our group, the Friends of Indie Law. And starting tomorrow, it's going to be what we're calling a weekly jam session with the Friends of Indie Law. And so we're going to be going live specifically in that closed group. So if you're not yet in the Friends of Indie Law group, go ahead and join. Caitlyn can drop a link in the comments there. But it's going to be really cool. So here's what it's going to be. Caitlyn and I are going to hop on every Friday at around 1 p.m. Central. And we're both going to kind of review kind of what Indie Law has been up to both that week and the week ahead. And then we are also going to kind of open it up. So it'll be like this with this Be Live interface. We're going to publicize the Be Live link. So anybody who wants to join in can. And if you just kind of want to say hi, you can. If you want to ask a legal question, again, this is exclusive to the group members, but you can pop in, ask your question. We'll answer it as well as we can without giving legal advice. And we're really excited to start doing those. We really like, yeah, we're really excited about the community that's growing there. And again, I know that the legal side is only one small aspect of your business. And so we're trying to do what we can to make connections happen, to make community happen there, to keep your business moving forward, to keep momentum. And, you know, a big part of moving that needle forward is realizing when you alone without any help are just going to keep drowning. So again, come back and ask questions if you're watching the replay, and we'll circle back and answer what we can. Caitlyn has been an amazing VA. Again, she's not available right now.
Raina just called herself out.
Yeah, Raina, I'm not sure if maybe it's weird because I feel like you might have been in the group at some point. I thought I remembered, but I tagged you and you weren't in.
Joey deleted you out of it. He was like, Irina.
No, I did not delete you out. Caitlyn, don't say that.
I'm kidding.
But yeah, we would obviously love to have you. And if also shout out to Raina's group as well. Fueled at Heart.
Yes. Yes.
Another amazing group.
Community. Amazing.
Yeah. So that's all that I've got for you guys this week. Have a great weekend. Caitlyn, what's the weather like?
Oh, it's it was 88 degrees when I was sitting by the pool yesterday.
I hate your stinking guts. It's really cold in Chicago still. All right, you guys. I'll see you next week. Have a good one.
Bye.